welcome whoever you are to Meg's Magical Mansion, a virtual guest house for spiritual wayfarers, a place where the ordinary becomes magical, where wisdom is yours for the asking, and where your higher nature is just a wish away. Thank you so much for joining us here today at Meg's Magical Mansion. I'm Meg, and this is my trusty butler, Scallion.
Charmed.
Nice hair, Scallion.
Parfait and I have been playing dress up.
Well, that sounds like fun, and it also sounds very relaxing and like a good way to unwind. Stick around because today our topic is navigating through tough and stressful times. We have a special author coming, a Scallion. We have a beautiful lady named Sarah Sullivan coming to visit with us. And did you know she is a nonagenarian?
That's impressive.
I know. Do you know what that means?
She's in her 90s.
Yes, she is 90 years old, and she has just released her first book, a compilation of all the poems she has written in her lifetime, along with her artwork. So she is a poet, she is an artist, and she's going to be sharing with us some tips on how to navigate the ups and downs in life. And don't you think by 90, she's probably figured a little bit of it out?
I'm sure she has.
Well, stick around. We'll also have some fun here with all of us at the mansion, giving some ideas about how we can all get through some of the tough times. We all go through personally through tough times, but Scallion, the world is kind of a very stressful place right now. We have so many things coming at us. Some of the people we know are very close to dangerous places, and things are just going on around the world that are scary and upsetting and frightening. And we're going to talk about how you can navigate through global scary things as well as personal things that are upsetting or ups and downs. So stick around. If you're going through any tough times, we want to help you get through it.
We're so fortunate. Toodles.
See you later, you kids. Have fun. Poopers. That was very exciting, and it looks like it is time for Words of Wisdom. And today our Words of Wisdom come to us from Sarah Sullivan, our special guest, from one of her poems in this book, Memoirs. The poem is called It Takes Courage to Live. So sit back, relax, and let's hear one of Sarah Sullivan's beautiful poems. It Takes Courage to Live by Sarah Sullivan. It takes courage to live, my friend, I said, and I knew it was meant for me. Feel the beat of the drums, let your heart fill with love, and the trumpet will sing out the note. Don't despair, you've been there. Simply tune up the sound. Pause and gather your fear, though the discord abounds. Step aside, give a bow. Take the chance, make a vow. Let your heart make the choice to be free from the ravishing wrath, from the damaging path, from the cancerous shoulds and woulds that would eat your soul, killing each shining goal. It's time that you choose to be whole. You need only be awake, leave guilt behind for your sake. Be your friend, now be mine. Everything is just fine. Well, Miss Alice Poopers, those were some nice words of wisdom from our very special guest today, Sarah Sullivan. She'll be popping by a little bit later to tell us all about her book she's just written. But in the meantime, we're going to get started with our topic of the day, which is navigating through stressful times. Now, we're all feeling stress. There's global stress right now going on all over the world, and I know we have viewers all over the world. And I know all of us are feeling the stress of war, pandemic, all the things going on. We all feel the stress of it because we live in a global community. We live in a global age. So if something's happening in other parts of the world, we know about it and we feel it. And if you're an empath like I am, you really feel it. So managing the stress of global events can be very difficult because we don't always feel like we have the power to do anything about them. Yet we still carry the stress for them because we have concern about when it's happening. It's very important that we find ways to manage that kind of stress. We have community stress going on in the neighborhoods and towns and cities we live in. We have stresses within our families, with our jobs, with money. All kinds of things are always buffeting us about, causing us to have to focus and stay balanced and not allow ourselves to get too out of whack when life starts dishing it out. And that's the topic of today. How do you stay focused? How do you keep going even when the winds of life are blowing you all over the place? So first off, I wanted to have Miss Alice Pooper say a word. She can wake up. You know, wake up and talk to everybody because she has a great idea on how you can handle stress. So, Miss Alice Poopers, you want to take it over?
Scoop, 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 scoop from poop, poop, scoop from poop, scoop, scoop from poop, poop, scoop from poop.
Having a pet is a great way to reduce stress. Did you know interacting with animals has been shown to decrease levels of cortisol, which is a stress-related hormone, and can lower blood pressure? Other studies have found that animals can reduce loneliness, increase feelings of social support, and boost your mood. So if you're feeling stressed, why not pet a pet? If you are not amongst the 68% of U.S. households that have a pet, you could go to your local shelter and volunteer to play with some lonely animals. Find a pet, get some love.
Well, Miss Alice Poopers, you're so wise. For such a sleepy girl, you're very wise. Thank you for sharing with us. And I have to say, when I feel stressed out and I cuddle my Alice Poopers, I feel much better. She's a snuggle bunny. So thank you, Alice Pooper, for your nice snuggly thoughts. Get a pet and go snuggle.
But let us pause briefly to discuss Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In 1943, Abraham Maslow published his famous paper, A Theory of Human Motivation, in which he presented his pyramid showing the hierarchy of needs. So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a motivational theory comprised of a 5-tiered model showing human needs, which are depicted in a hierarchical pyramid. Take a look at his little pyramid. At the very base are your physiological needs. So think about that. That is like air, food, water, shelter, clothing, warmth, sleep. Next level are your safety needs. Emotional security, financial security, a security of your property, health, and well-being. Level 3 addresses your need for love and belonging. So after your physiological and safety needs have been met, you can start concentrating on things like interpersonal relationships, affiliating, connectedness, and being part of a group. Level 4 deals with esteem needs. Esteem for oneself, the desire to have a reputation or respect from others. And the final stage deals with self-actualization needs. And this is seeking out personal growth and peak experiences. This is the desire to accomplish everything one can and to be the most one can be. So it's important when we're thinking about dealing with stress to think about where you might be falling on this pyramid, because if your basic needs for food and shelter are not being met, you need to address those to reduce your stress. Whereas if your basic needs are being met, you can perhaps be working on needs further up the pyramid. So it's important when you're feeling stressed to think, where might I be falling on this, and at what level are my needs not being met? It will better help you to meet those needs and reduce your stress. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
You know, there's a lot of little things you can do. We've touched on in other episodes, things like meditate. meditation is very, very beneficial. That idea in Buddhism where you're on that hamster wheel, the samsara, where you're just caught up in all the things going on and you're just running and chasing your tail like a puppy dog does. And you're just round and round and round. And you're not going anywhere. You're just really spinning your wheels. So meditation is a great way to break that cycle of the samsara. You know, a few other things that we've talked about on the show in the past, things that you can do besides meditation, also the idea of practicing gratitude. It can be hard when you're in a stressful situation to find things to be grateful for, but it is very beneficial. And if you literally can only find the flower growing out of the crack in the sidewalk to be grateful for, go for that. Anything you can do, any tiny thing you can express gratitude for, because once you start, that snowballs. And the universe the doors open and the universe can flood you with more things to be grateful for. But expressing gratitude is so powerful at helping to keep yourself balanced. You stop stressing out so much about what you don't have when you start being appreciative for what you do. Also, sewing, cooking, crafting, painting, creating, anything like that is excellent for releasing stress. That is one of the reasons why I came out with my spring poetry coloring book. But you don't need this, although you could buy it on Amazon. But you don't have to. You could just draw your own pictures, do your own thing, do your own paintings. But anything creative really helps relieve stress. Pick up a new craft or go, build something. Have some fun. And speaking of that, having fun is very important for relieving stress. You just saw that Scallion and Parfait are playing dress up today. Sometimes just playing is important. Cutting loose and having a good time. Parfait likes to play around. I found out that when we've been filming and we had the cameras and the lights up, she likes to sneak in here and record herself having fun. You want to see? I caught her. Let me share her. Watch this.
I will follow him wherever he may go. There isn't a mountain too deep, an ocean so wide, it can keep me away.
Isn't that great? And I love that Parfait knows how to just cut loose and have a good time. The fact that Parfait and Scallion are playing dress up today just says that they know how to tap in to their inner child and kick back and have fun. Get out and do something childlike today. Little tips, but they might really help you when you're feeling the strain and the stress of life, help you keep your head on straight. And of course, we brought a very special guest to help us with this topic today, our friend Sarah Sullivan, who at age 90 released her very first book. It's Memoirs in Poetry and Paint, and it is a collection of the poetry and paintings she has done over her lifetime. And I think at age 90, she probably has a little bit of life experience to share with us. I always feel like at age 60, I have a little something to say. But at age 90, I think our friend Sarah has me beat by a mile, and she has a very great attitude and outlook on life, and I can't wait for her to share it with you. So without further ado, I want you to meet my friend, Miss Sarah Sullivan. Today we have a very special guest here at Meg's Magical Mansion. Alice Poopers, you're so excited to meet our new guest.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to meet Sarah Sullivan. She is a very wonderful lady I've gotten to know recently, and I want to make sure you get to know her too. Today we've been talking a lot about how to handle stress and get through tough times with grace and charm. Well, Sarah, you are how old?
90 years old.
So Sarah's 90, and believe me, she has gotten through some very interesting, difficult, wonderful, glorious ups and downs of life, and we're having her share a little bit of her experiences with us today. So Sarah, you also have come out this year at age 90 with your first book.
Yes.
What made you decide to do this at age 90?
I spent most of my life alone with partners, but not with my children that I miss so much. And I had written these poems over the years with my feelings about losing them, not having them with me, or things that happened in my life. And I thought, I want them to know about what happened in my world. It's 30 years, of my time. So I decided that I'd just do it for them. And then suddenly someone told me, oh, you can get it published and with Amazon, and it won't cost anything. And I thought, oh, good, I won't have all these books stacked up in a corner someplace.
So just like we're doing here at Meg's Magical Mansion with our journals and our coloring books, Sarah has put together this book called Memoirs in Poetry and Paint. So how has writing poetry helped you going through the ups and downs of life?
I actually, it saved my life, because as I said, things were happening in my life that were really sad, serious, very, very sad. And suddenly a voice seemed to say to me, sit down and write this poem. And that was the first time I did it. And after that, it seemed every time that I'd be going through some traumatic period or some wonderful thing, I get this voice saying, sit down and take a pencil and write down this information. And it was always a poem, or sometimes it was just a story. I have lots of stories also. So these were all done in a period of 60 years.
And Sarah's also an artist, so all of the artwork in here are from her original paintings. How does your artwork also help you when you're going through the ups and downs of life?
It's the same thing. I start to do a painting. Sometimes it's a dream, like the one in this one especially.
But tell us a little bit about this painting you did here.
Well, that painting is about the Twin Towers. That I was a teacher. I was an art teacher in New York, and we had moved to Arizona. I remarried, moved to Arizona, and this happened. And I thought, those children are now maybe down at the Twin Towers, and I was devastated. And
I think a lot of us who've lived in New York, although I was no longer living in New York when it happened, it was,
even people who never went there. I mean, it was just so unbelievable. And I cried and cried for 3 days, and then I thought, we didn't come here with bodies. I mean, we took on bodies to come here, but we are not bodies, we are spirit. And either angels came and picked them up, they didn't hit the ground. I know they didn't hit the ground. And they either became angels or the angels picked them up, I'm not sure which. And then I started painting, and all this, it just came to me, the actual painting of it and drawing of it. I didn't think about, oh, I'll put an angel here or an eagle there. My hand almost
drew it itself.
Yeah.
As an artist too, I love when your brain kind of checks out and your body, your heart, and your hand take over and create the piece.
It's wonderful, and that's I do a lot of my painting that way too. That's the book cover is done in East Hampton. I was on a boat. Wonderful experience. I was on the boat and I was afraid of swimming, but I got out on that boat, and I actually did learn how to swim from the boat. And this is called From the Boat, the painting.
So as you can see inside, there's a little bit more about Sarah, and then a lot of her poems are in here. I know we heard one earlier during our Words of Wisdom, but she has some of her artwork in here, and we're going to give away a copy of Sarah's book today. So all you have to do is how about if we put the word memoirs in the comments below? You have until Sunday to get that down in the comments, and then on Sunday we will pick a winner. Sarah, I can't thank you enough for being here. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers just about, in general, any advice about, we're all going through a lot of tough times with the world we live in, and any advice for all of us about how to handle COVID, war, politics, everything happening?
I do a lot of meditation, and I do not turn television on very much.
Except to watch Meg's Magical Mansion.
Right. I mean, there are things I watch on television, but I think you have to realize that news is meant to entertain you more than it is to give you information. And I just feel that we can't change it. I'm involved with certain things, but we can't change it. My fighting with you about what your politics are or your church are is not going to change anything, except it's going to change the relationship we have.
Well said.
Yeah, and so I always say it's not a dress rehearsal. We don't have to go back and feel badly about ourselves. We feel sorry that we did certain things, but we did them with the best intentions when we did them. So life goes on, you know.
We want to thank Sarah for being our guest here today, and her book, Memoirs in Poetry and Paint, is for sale on Amazon, so get your copy. But we are giving away 1 copy of her book, plus inside I'm going to tuck a $25 Amazon gift card. So if you would like to win a copy of Sarah's book, plus a $25 Amazon gift card tucked inside, put the word Memoirs down below in the comments. Make sure you get your entries in by this Sunday at noon, when we will close the contest and pick our winner. So, I hope you had a good time today playing here at the mansion, meeting our special guest, Sarah Sullivan. I want to thank her again for sharing her wisdom and her time with us here at the mansion. And, in the words of Buddha, 1,000 candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So thank you for sharing your time, attention with us here today at Meg's Magical Mansion. We really love and appreciate you. If you had a good time, please give us a like, give us a share. We're really looking for subscribers right now, so tell your friends if you enjoy the channel. It's one way you could really help us build the channel. Ring the bell, and we can let you know when we post new episodes. And we will see you back here next week at Meg's Magical Mansion.